Hey everybody, welcome back to Krieger's Reef. I had a video on YouTube that had a rundown of the equipment that is in my system, but notice that YouTube no longer had it posted. It was deleted somehow, I'm not sure how, but it is no longer there, so I figured I would post a new one. I did have it on my phone, but I didn't want to upload it again because some things have changed since then, so I figured I'd shoot a new video. The tank was made by Aquatic America, which is a Michigan company. Um, the craftsmanship was just okay. I think if I had to do it over again, I'd probably go with Reef Savvy or a Miracles tank. Spend a little extra money to get the better craftsmanship, but the glass itself, it's a Starfire tank on the front panel, side panels. It's beautiful. The glass clarity is really amazing. So I'm glad I went with Starfire, but probably would have went with a different manufacturer if I had to do it over again. The Overflow Box is a Synergy Reef Systems 20-inch overflow. It has a bean animal style drain, and I'll take you around back to show you that. So typical bean animal style. It's very well made, perfect size for this tank, so I'm glad that I went with that. I have two Kessel A360WEs up top, and they provide amazing shimmer. People that have them know what I'm talking about. On the equipment panel, you can see the power strip and all the controllers mounted. This is actually a medicine cabinet that you would put in your bathroom, and I mounted it to the inside of the stand, and I'm using it as my electrical panel. The other side of that is basically I took the mirror that goes on the front and I flipped it around to the back, and so you can actually see the area of the sump right there, that where the overflow is. It goes into the first chamber of the sump. The sump itself is an Ice Cap 36. Reason I really like this is this side over here is actually a reservoir for your RODI water. So I've got a Tunzi osmolator that is handling the ATO for me. Behind it you can see the J-Val DCS 8000 pump. I was a little reluctant to get a J-Val. It was my first J-Val that I've owned. I've read good and bad about them. The thing is dead silent. I've heard that they die after a period of time. Mine's not dead yet, so I have faith. It's been a pretty good pump. It actually I have it turned down. I don't have it up to full power, because if I had it up to full power, it would create crazy flow through my sump, and I'm not into that. So protein skimmer, that is a Vertex Omega 150. Truth be told, if I had to do it again, I'd probably get a bigger skimmer, although this thing does a great job. Vertex skimmers are very well made. I think if you saw it for yourself and you actually just took the cap off the top, you feel the weight of that thing. And when you go to drain it, the fact that it has an actual threaded, there's a thread down here instead of just pulling it off, you just turn it, and that helps to create some kind of, if you had any potential spillage from yanking the thing off with those typical seals that they put on skimmers. So thing's done a pretty good job. Heater is an Eheim heater. I have about 6 of these that are laying around. This one, the Eheim heaters do a great job. I used to use those stealth heaters that ended up having that recall. I used those for many, many years, and then after the recall, I decided to stop using those. I'm not even sure if they make them anymore, but anyway. That is a UV sterilizer, and it's made by Aqua Ultraviolet. It's a 57 watt UV sterilizer. It's way more than what you would need for a 120 gallon tank. However, I went big on that because eventually I may end up using it on a larger tank. There is a possibility that, I don't know, a handful of years down the road I may jump into an 8-foot long tank, and you know, that UV sterilizer would be appropriately sized. So so I got that. All the plumbing supplies, most of them were bought from Bulk Reef Supply. There were some pieces that came from supplyhouse.com, which you know, they have really good prices on plumbing. Let's see, what else can I show you in the sump area? Yeah, that's about it. I did install this this ball valve over here because eventually I planned on plumbing in a display refugium, which would be my original Oceanic 29 BioCube, and I already have it drilled there for an overflow, and so this would end up being a display refugium eventually when I get around to getting it hooked up. If I ever need a chiller for it, I still have my my chiller that I was using when I had my 39-gallon tank set up as a seahorse tank. I had to run that at lower temperatures, so that did a pretty good job for that. I bought this auto feeder. This is just a battery operated Eheim auto feeder, so it feeds the pellets at 2 o'clock every day, and then I feed mysis typically around 8 o'clock at night, and then I have this Two Little Fishes clip for the seaweed that I feed, and they get that every once in a while as well. You can see that the tank is fairly clean. There are a few spots of algae that is growing on the glass, but I haven't scraped the tank in about a week, and the reason why I can wait so long to scrape the tank and there's not as much algae growth is the UV sterilizer down there. It does a great job with keeping the algae from growing on the glass. The flow inside the tank is mostly supplied by that guy. That is a MaxSpec Gyre XF250. I have it set at a fairly low setting because you know, the pump is supplying, the return pump is supplying some flow in the tank, and in combination, you know, with this, it runs in a random pulsing mode from 0 to 40%, and you know, only 40% because I used to have it at 60, and the fish weren't really swimming around as much. They were pretty much looking for cover because it was there was quite a bit of flow in there. And now that I've turned it down to 40, I still get the gyre motion within the tank, but there's a lot more activity with the fish swimming around. So that worked out pretty well. The rock is all live rock. When I started this tank, I started with all live rock. Most of that structure right there came from two of my older tanks, my 39-gallon and my BioCube. So they had been running in those tanks for 8 or 9 years, and so that rock has been live for a very long time. These pieces right here I picked up from my LFS. This is just real reef rock, and you know, since I had a lot of coralline growth already on this rock structure here, you know, I figured I'd get rock that, you know, was colored that way anyway. There's a few little pieces of rock up front, and those were in the sump of my 39-gallon tank previously, and I added them to this tank. So that's about it. It's the equipment rundown. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down, and I'll answer them the best I can. And please like and subscribe. Thank you.